Hello, and welcome to Learn Family University's course, Student Wellbeing and Successful Online Learning. I'll be your presenter today. I'm Pamela Santerre, the coordinator of online learning for Learn. My contact information is on the screen. Please let me know if I can support you or your young people in any way. As always, we want to start with a disclaimer that you know your child best. During this course, you will learn principles of well-being that parents and experts recommend that you can use to support the development of your child's social and emotional learning skills. However, you know your child best. Take what you can from this training and then leave the rest behind. This is Module 6, Friendships during COVID-19. Friends can be everything to a young person. Friendships allow young people to process the experience of growing up and feeling connected to others. It's fundamental to the human experience. It's central to the feeling of belonging that is so important to most of us. It's also the first experience children have navigating the complexities of healthy relationships and boundaries. For some parents, there's been a tendency to worry if their child doesn't have a lot of friends. But more important than having a large group of friends is having at least one person who gets us, who we can be ourselves around, and who we can depend on. But friendships, especially in school, have always been complex. Sometimes it's because of the natural rhythm of young people's social dynamics, but it's also because of the influences of adult expectations. Take this message from Sarah, a 7-year-old student. She says, in elementary school, you're basically told that unless you're friends with everyone, you're mean and a bully. So often people pretend to get along just to make things easier. As I got older, there were people I was friends with because they were in a class or an activity with me. Sometimes I picked friends based on not having anyone else I know. Sometimes I picked a friend because I had to be around them all the time, so it was easier for everyone if we got along than if we didn't. Sometimes I was friends with someone just because they didn't like another person and we bonded. Friendship has levels and it's as complicated for young people as it is for adults. It's important to remember that friendships are often multifaceted. Young people can show different facades to different people. How they show up with you may be very different than how they show up with their friends. How they show up with one friend may be different than how they show up with other friends. How they show up online can be very different than how they show up in person. Young people maintain certain kinds of friendships in specific ways. Some friendships are maintained in group chats, in text, over social media, by talking, or by online video games. They all matter. It's essential that your young person feels like you respect the importance of their friendships, even if they're struggling with them. Take their concerns seriously. Offer feedback without demeaning their friends, and remember that to young people, digital connection feels as vital as it is in person. So avoid dismissing friends that they have made online or prefer to only text or play video games with. Friendships teach us what it means to be in relationship with each other. They give us the opportunity to learn how to stay in a relationship with people we care about, while also learning how to maintain personal boundaries. When young people, like many of us, have conflicts with friends, we can understandably struggle between expressing our anger and worrying that doing so will end the friendship. This is one of the reasons why changing friend groups when a young person doesn't like one or more of the people in their friendship group is way harder than just finding another group of friends, especially now when it can feel like you have to hold on to the friends you do have because you have so few opportunities to meet new people. One of your responsibilities is ensuring that your child has a friend, someone they can talk to with as they go through this new reality of school and socializing. But of course, how that has happened has changed. Young people are quickly having to adjust from the way they made and maintained friendships before COVID-19 to what will work for them now. In the spring, we saw friendship maintenance patterns emerge quickly. Some children and teens preferred parallel play, where they played with their toys or games, while their friends on a video chat also did the same. Some friendships were maintained by a video call with one friend so they could watch movies, study, or do projects together. In the picture, you can see the cast of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air watching old episodes of their show together. Other friends preferred to hang out with a small group after an online class to catch up. Others depended on online video games to maintain friendships. And finally, many children depended on long-distance relationships to share what they were going through. You might have found that they had more of an interest in reaching out to relatives who didn't live nearby, or friends that they made through camp or other types of activities. And often a young person did a combination of the above. All of these strategies are great for maintaining connection to friends when the options to doing so are limited. However, you may be seeing a major spike in the time spent on their phones or other devices. This may worry you, but remember, while it's important to remain mindful of healthy tech use, their phone is their only social connection at the moment. So that's an important factor to also consider. This becomes an excellent opportunity to invite young people into the conversation and set rules together. If they feel heard and understood, it will likely decrease the amount of conflict around technology use. All of this is to say that friendships will be maintained online in ways they have never before. Friendships in school help people feel connected during the day, and young people are worried about how to maintain their friendships during this time. Friendships during COVID-19 are like maintaining a long-distance relationship. The ease of being in the same building or running into someone is gone. It takes much more work to be in relationship with each other remotely, and it takes more work to sustain relationships because you miss the fleeting moments of socializing that may make you feel connected with others. Young people may feel trapped in friendships or they have no one else to turn to because they can't socialize at school, so they can't meet new people. For the near future, it looks like we're really going to have to do our best to make the friendships we have work, and that's why handling conflict is so much more important than it was before. As parents and caregivers, we have to acknowledge the complexity of friendships right now and understand that they may look drastically different than we would like. Spending hours playing a video game online or watching a movie on FaceTime is valuable time for young people are spending to build and maintain their friendships. Take this message from Gus, a 16-year-old student. He says, "With my school, we have 1,400 kids total, and we're going to be divided into 3 groups of 475 that go into school every third day. When we don't go in, we'll be doing virtual learning. So my main concern is that I won't be able to see most friends and other kids at school." The good news is that we can help our children make their friendships work. How do we help our young people know who they want to be friends with and how to maintain those friendships? Here's an activity that you can do with the young person in your life that gives them the ability to develop the friendships that make them feel good and supported. Healthy friendships make everyone's dignity feel important. We call this strategy the Friendship Bill of Rights. Avoid focusing on a particular person, for example, a child you may not like who they hang out with, while walking through this activity of creating criteria for any friendship or relationship. This Friendship Bill of Rights is an essential reference when a young person is thinking through a problem they have with a friend. Developing a Friendship Bill of Rights. Ask your child the questions below. 1. Identify the 3 most important qualities of a good or healthy friendship. 2. Identify the 3 most important qualities of a bad or unhealthy friendship. 3. Think about the quality of your friendships. Do you treat your friends according to what you value in a good friendship? Do your friends treat you according to what you value in a good friendship? If the young person is struggling with a friendship, they can compare their list with how they would describe a friendship. Just don't expect them to realize they're in an unhealthy friendship and break it off right away. That might be impossible right now, but encourage them to at least admit that what the person is doing is something against their Friendship Bill of Rights. Remind them that the smallest act of establishing personal boundaries to a friend is actually a really brave decision. Recognizing the state of their friendship gets them on a path to making better decisions about their friendships and other relationships in the future. Here are some key messages. Friendships make it impossible to go through incredibly difficult times. Young people will have different ways of maintaining those friendships, and all of those ways are important to them. We will have limits on our freedom to make new friends, so it's in our best interest to make those friendships work. If we aren't being treated with dignity in our friendships, then knowing how to articulate those feelings is essential to our well-being and ability to make friends who will. And lastly, make sure that the young person in your care feels that you know all of the above. Here are some ideas for social connection and quarantine playdates. Friendships are important to your child's happiness and your health too. Social interaction strengthens kids' immune systems, increase motivation, and lower stress. Unfortunately, lots of children are separated from friends right now due to social distancing, school schedules, and shifting parent schedules. Here are some ideas from Connecticut Children pediatric psychologist Dr. Michael Rice and Dr. Melissa Santos. First, set up a virtual meeting or play date. While meeting in person can be tricky during COVID-19, there's always the option of saying hello through Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, or your favorite video chat platform. While it's important to have screen time limits, it may be worth stretching these to accommodate social connections. Second, watch a movie or show together. Choose an age-appropriate movie or television, and invite a friend or their family virtually. Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, many streaming services now offer these options. For example, Netflix has a feature for online viewing parties. Third, arrange a scavenger hunt in the community. This may be a way to get some steps in while getting outside. Coordinate with other families in your community to hide items, or try Pokemon Go or geocaching. If your child and friends are searching at the same time, just make sure to keep everyone safe by wearing masks and practicing social distancing. This one in particular may require some parental creativity, but it's worth it. Fourth, don't forget to communicate the old-fashioned way. Write a letter. We've all gotten so used to technology that this one can get missed. But trust us, it's meaningful for kids to put some words down on paper with the purpose of communicating with a friend. And it never gets old waiting for their friend to reply. Fifth, start a pandemic book club. Curling up with a good book isn't just safe, it's educational during quarantine. It can also be a bonding experience. Have your child and their friends pick a book that they're excited about reading, and set up regular video chats for them to share insights, ideas, and perspectives. You can also try these ideas from Coffee and Carpool. You can make a craft and drop it off in a friend's mailbox. Kids love creating art and doing crafts. They love giving away their art as gifts to friends. During this social distancing time, arts and crafts is a great activity to keep our kids busy and entertained and connect with their friends. If you have sidewalk chalk, go chalk a friend's driveway. Nicole of Coffee and Carpool went to several friends' houses and left uplifting messages and drawings to let them know that they miss them and can't wait to see them soon. For houses with young kids, we drew their names in bubble letters so they could come outside and color after we had left. You could also draw a hopscotch pattern or obstacle course on their driveway, so you have something fun to do while they're gone. Or you can leave messages on your driveway for others. Make kindness rocks. On a walk around your neighborhood, search for rocks you can easily paint at home. You can write or paint uplifting or kind messages on them, and then leave them in friends' yards. Or you can hide them on your next neighborhood walk for others to find. Another suggestion is to play video games together. Another pretty obvious one is playing video games together. If your child plays video games online, they probably already know how to connect with each other and talk while they play. You can also make each other videos. Nicole from Coffee and Carpool say her kids love to make stop action videos using StickBots or the Lego Video Maker, or their action figures. You can make these videos and send them to their friends and ask for videos in return. You can also read each other books and send videos of your child reading the story. And lastly, you can play a non-digital video game together, but apart. Certain games you have to play sitting next to each other, so those are obviously out. But there are many traditional board games that can be played over a video conference. Some games like Hangman or Pictionary or Charades or Battleship are easier than others. Other games are harder, but it's still possible to play if you get creative. You can play games like chess, Monopoly, Life, if you each have a board game, and then you move your pieces and then mirror where their opponent moved their piece so the boards match. You could even get creative and play bingo or trivia with other families using a video chat platform like Zoom. Thank you for joining me for Module 6. Module 7, where we talk about teasing and bullying, is available now. Want to dive deeper? Register for our self-paced course. The link is on the screen. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in Module 7.